US resellers. My name is Vanya Nikova. I'm a sales manager at CloudSigma, and I also have my colleague Chuck Lurch on the other end of the globe, sitting in Honolulu. Together, we're going to do this webinar for you. I'm getting some noise. Not sure where is it from, but yeah, okay. Yeah, I'll just get it going. So, yeah, what's the agenda for today? I'll be very brief, talking about CloudSigma, who we are, what we do, what makes us a good cloud provider. Then we'll present our channel partner program, explaining how you can actually increase and maximize your revenue if you decide to become a cloud partner of ours. Then we'll talk briefly about why actually CloudSigma is a good partner to choose. And a bigger portion of the webinar is to show you some successful examples from existing channel partners we have. We'll show you some examples we have in the US and also in Europe. So let's get started. CloudSigma is a Swiss company. We were founded 9 years ago, and we currently have just over 50 employees. We are known for being a very flexible cloud provider. Flexibility is a buzzword we use at CloudSigma very often. It basically means that we are a small provider that can actually serve also big enterprises and smaller companies at the same level. And flexibility stands also for flexible server sizes, but I'll come back to that later on. We built our own cloud stack 9 years ago, and this is one of the reasons why we are able to give forward a lot of flexibility to our customers. We are a Swiss mother company, but we have different subsidiaries around the globe, including in the US. So in the US, the solution that our customers are using is 100% US infrastructure solution. As you can see here on the map, we have 4 US locations covering almost the whole territory of the US. But on top of that, we have also a global network of locations. 2 are missing here. Our map is not updated. We are launching a location also in Riyadh in Saudi Arabia, and we are having a second location in Switzerland. So we are growing pretty quickly, and we expect to cover also some other areas in the Asian part of the world sometime this year. So CloudSigma in a nutshell. 9 years of experience already, 100% SLA. This is something that not all the cloud providers are offering. We have 10 cloud locations. With the 2 new I mentioned, it's going to be 12. It takes only 26 seconds to create a new server, and it gets approximately 30 seconds to get a response from our customer support. We have about 4,000 active servers of different clients that are more than 1,000 from all over the world. This is just an overview of our certificates. We are ISO certified, we are PCI DSS compliant, and we are also a certified cloud partner of Ubuntu. Our cloud is actually KVM, and we use Linux here internally quite a lot, but in our cloud you can also use any operating system. So this is these are a few examples from our customers. Many of them come from Europe, but actually many of them also have deployment in the US. For example, these guys here, ECMWF, those are this is a weather forecast company, and they serve some enterprises in the US, providing them different weather forecast services. Other names, European Space Agency is a familiar name. We also work with NASA. Actually, they have some deployment with us. We are quite famous in the space area generally. So this is just the CloudSigma in a nutshell. Later on, we'll give you a few more examples. But now I'm handing over to Chuck, who will present you our cloud platform, our platform. Sorry.
Great. Thank you, Vanya. Good morning, everybody, or good afternoon, depending on where you're joining us from. I'm going to talk quick about the channel partner program. CloudSigma is unique in the sense that it offers a channel partner program, unlike your other competing clouds in the U.S., Amazon, Azure, DigitalOcean. It's a more comprehensive, and it's actually much more, I'd say, almost a lucrative program. It pays out better, and the performance is there. And being one of the original channel partners to CloudSigma from many years ago with the node in Hawaii. The biggest thing we got from our customers was the support for CloudSigma. The click to chat is probably one of the best features that, I mean, there's a lot of great features of CloudSigma, but the click to chat is probably the most talked about, and it's an amazing feature that enables the channel because it helps the customers, not just you, but it helps your customers, depending on how you spin them up, to get support, and that's something you do not get with Amazon and Microsoft. So let's go to the next page. Okay, there we go. So we have it's pretty much, it's called an affiliate program. So what happens is we track all the customers that you would bring in, and from there you would get a revenue share and get paid out, for every single customer every single month that you have. And what that also enables you to do is, you become a partner of CloudSigma, and you become a partner in the sense that it's a collaborative environment. So it's not like, well, we just dictate everything that CloudSigma does, and you're the partner, you just have to listen to us. It's more of a collaborative approach where you as a partner can say, hey, CloudSigma, we would like to see this feature. We would like to see, is it possible to do this? And CloudSigma was a very nimble company, and we'll talk about that later in some of the use cases. And it helps bring more products to market. So it's a great way to not just be a reseller, but actually have a partner in the industry here. I don't think you could go like to Amazon or Microsoft and say, hey, can you add this feature for me? I could really use it for my customers. It probably wouldn't work. And that's why CloudSigma, and that's one of the reasons why I love CloudSigma so much. And with business risk, right? So we'll talk about this a bit later as well. Since CloudSigma, at least anywhere it's based, is based in carrier neutral facilities or co-location facilities. So when you talk about reducing business risk, you can actually take cloud services from CloudSigma and cross-connect them into existing infrastructure for your customers. So what that enables your customer to do is you can set up many different hybrid scenarios depending on where you're at, and that will further enable what you can offer to your customer, helping them out, and plus also driving the services and value you bring to them. And again, there's new markets. So with CloudSigma's global reach, I mean, if you have a product or a service that you want to get into different markets, it's open discussion. Say, hey, I'm trying to get into this market. So let's say you're a U.S.-based company like myself, and we have a new opportunity in the Philippines. So we would just spin up nodes in the Philippines and start business in the Philippines right away. We don't, it's a very quick way to enter new markets, which is it's just amazing. And again, it's also the speed, which I'll talk about in the later slides. As everything is going more data-driven, you see a lot more of artificial intelligence. And a lot of this takes a lot of horsepower, where CloudSigma it's all SSD infrastructure, and it's got the speed to handle these workloads. So here's a little bit more about the channel partner program. It's 15%. You start at 15%, and as you grow, it will go up to about 25%, and that's monthly recurring revenue. You have dedicated support, of course. You have your US-based support, which is us. Holistic Security, we own the US nodes, and we have our team of about 25 individuals. And you have also the CloudSigma support, which is based out of Europe, and you have their support as well. So you have a lot of support around you, and if you need any help, let's say helping close a deal, let's say it's a bigger deal, you can feel free to reach out to our teams, and we can provide use cases. We pretty much have a use case for every single type of business opportunity. So just reach out to us. We can help you close those deals as well. Of course, there's an online portal. We have, for your reporting for your leads. What I talked about a minute ago was the virtual, private, and hybrid cloud options. So you have a full spectrum, and in offering these services for many years through the DR Fortress facility, which was one of the original channel partners. It was amazing what we could offer, not even just our regular commercial clients. We could offer the state and local amazing products and get things up to speed quickly when needed. Let's see here. So again, we can offer managed services to customers worldwide, and depending on what kind of company you have. One of the slides coming up, we're going to talk about another consulting company that does security services globally. And then value-added course cloud services. So I mean, the cloud has evolved a lot over the years, and there is more and more options coming to it. Most hardware vendors have realized that cloud has taken over everything. So there is a lot of software and a lot of different things that you can offer now that a lot of people still aren't realizing. So it's a great opportunity to jump on that and have another revenue stream in that way. So why choose us, right? Like Vanya said, we've been in business 9 years. So CloudSigma has been around. It continues to grow, and there's a lot of interest in this space. People are starting to get a little bit afraid of the other options that are out there, and they want local partners that they can trust. So where Amazon and Microsoft have these big, very large data centers, that also makes them, a target for an attack. We're a cybersecurity firm, so we look at risk. So we see that these large Amazon and Microsoft data centers are actually a bigger risk. Where what CloudSigma is doing is they're choosing, multiple partners in multiple regions, so your customers can deploy in multiple regions, and it's more of a mesh network of data centers versus just large single points of failure. Now, it's a different approach, and I actually think it's a better approach, and we're actually seeing it in the security market as well. The larger players are starting to go away, and you're seeing more local players come back strong again. CloudSigma is just deploying their DRaaS service, and that is an online backup that you can recover into the cloud. So you can install this agent on your customer on-prem, like maybe in their small data closet, and then back up to CloudSigma, then turn on the machine if needed. Or you can use it as a migration into CloudSigma. Again, we're ISO 27001 certified and PCI. So what does that mean? That means that a lot of current security programs out there, if you're talking about NIST, the NIST framework, you're talking about HIPAA, you're talking about different things. The ISO 27001 has a lot of cross references to those, and then we have what we call not workarounds, but we have mitigating controls around anything that is not covered. So we can talk about that. So feel free to reach out to us. We can talk about the different compliances in detail. Compliance. Again, ISO covers a lot of bases, and I think it's a great start. Reliability. In running CloudSigma, first at DR Fortress, and then over the US, it's an amazing cloud. Our customers, they talk about how reliable it is and how much they love it. So I mean, it's a kind of see it to believe it technology. And what I say by that is spin it up and test it for yourself. And we give all of our customers a free trial. And if you do like it, and most of our customers, they do, they stick around for a long time. So flexibility. Again, it can run Windows and Linux servers. You can run BSD. You can run pretty much anything that's x86. So any code base. I typically run Linux and Windows all the time. We have a lot of you have a lot of different security products now that have their own custom Linux OS, and you kind of wonder if it's going to work, and we've got them all to work so far. The support, again, 24/7. Can't beat it. No one else offers chat support in their cloud. And the flexible pricing models. If you have bigger deals, that might need custom pricing, feel free to come to us and say, hey, I need to be able to do this or that, and it's up for discussion. So partner success stories is a cool slide. I like this one. So I'm going to turn it back to Vanya. She knows this customer better than I do, so I'm going to mute myself, and she's going to take over from here.
Thanks, Chuck. I actually forgot to mention something very important about Chuck, and this is the fact that he started years ago as a channel partner of CloudSigma, and he is now actually responsible for CloudSigma US. So he was so convinced in all the services and the features that we offer that he grew up from being a partner to actually, again, being a partner of CloudSigma on a much different and higher level. So yeah, that's why he's so enthusiastic about CloudSigma. He's not not coming for being an employee of CloudSigma, but no, he actually works with a lot of different customers, getting them on board on CloudSigma, and this is what made him convinced so much in our services. So this first partner case study I'm going to present is coming from Switzerland, but the guy is working internationally. So Wolfsec is a classical managed services provider with focus on high availability. So he does a lot of different managed services, operation of servers, Windows-based, Linux-based. Then he is building security firewalls and other tools around that. He is able to do load balancing for cloud services. So he had his customer base on-prem. This was 2 or 3 years ago, and then he found CloudSigma. So today he is offering Windows or Linux-based cloud server bundled together with his managed services on top of that, such as firewalls, load balance, managed VPN, monitoring, that his customers might need. So he's a very interesting case because his customers actually vary. So some of his customers, he's only doing the setup for them, like basic cloud setup and some installation firewall setup and so on. And after that, they are he's not managing the server, so the customers are taking over from that point. Then he also has customers where he manages some things, but then the customers also need to have access to certain other things in the cloud. And he also has a third type of customer where the customers don't have any access to the cloud at all. So for these different access levels, we have the so-called access control list feature, which enables different access levels to different servers and drives and other functionalities in the cloud. And with this feature, he was able to actually do this mix which he already had in the past on the on-prem servers he was using. And yeah, so he is growing pretty fast with us. He's expanding to the whole German-speaking area, and he recently deployed a first UK customer. And what is best, one of his international customers was interested in using CloudSigma elsewhere, so outside of our Swiss location. So this was a really good opportunity for him because he said, okay, actually now with CloudSigma I can offer also my services around the globe, and this was really amazing for him. On the next slide, we are starting with 2 examples from the US. So I'm going to hand over back to Chuck. Hello, Chuck. Can you hear us?
Security.
Okay. Oh. Sorry.
It went blank for a second. Okay, so probably one of the largest security companies in the world. So cybersecurity. Fidelis has come to market with a very, very intriguing product and is actually replacing a lot of FireEye on the islands of Oahu, Maui, Big Island of in the state of Hawaii here, and in the mainland U.S. as we call it. So they wanted a way to showcase how their product is better and how fast it can go to market. And typical process would be to deploy an on-prem appliance. So they would have to ship it out. They would have to send an engineer out to install it. And of course, that takes a lot of time and a lot of money to do so and to prove if something's going to work or not. So what they were able to do is we were able to work with CloudSigma to create a custom network architecture that can mirror network traffic. So Fidelis can spin up in CloudSigma and explode malware, simulate different types of attacks in a neutral platform, so it's not in their data center. They can't manipulate anything. It's in a third party, which is CloudSigma, and they could show how effective their product was versus competitors. So that was it's actually helped increase the sales cycle for Fidelis. So that again, that's driven more revenue for them. And they have of course large customers here in the U.S., including IBM, Apple, Microsoft are all using their products. So it's a very, very solid platform. Again, it's a custom Linux image, and there was some concern at first, but it went off without a hitch. So again, if you had never heard of Fidelis, you might want to check it out. It's a growing cybersecurity company. They've been around for a couple years already, and they're doing very, very well in the market here. Next one I wanted to showcase was Hawk. Now Hawk took a little bit different approach. They actually became a CloudSigma partner. So what they're doing is they brought their artificial intelligence platform to CloudSigma and said, "Hey CloudSigma, can we start working with you on this? Can we offer this to your customers?" So we're working on this right now. It's not fully deployed yet. However, what it is it's a next generation SIM, and if you don't know what a SIM is, it's a security event information management platform. You probably heard of Splunk or Alien Vault or something like that. It's very similar, but it's the next generation of this type of platform. So why they choose it over AWS and Azure? Again, this is an artificial intelligence based SIM. They needed the dependable performance, and they actually benchmarked us against AWS and Azure. And again, also speed to deployment. If you try to deploy in AWS or Azure, there's a lot of weird things you gotta learn about how they do their infrastructure. CloudSigma is very straightforward, and again, speed to deployment, especially as they bring on more engineers, is very, very fast. So again, I could talk about these showcases. So what Hawk does is they actually say, well, this is Alien Vault's offering, this is our offering. We'll send the same amount of events to each platform and see how fast they can respond. And the Hawk platform responds way faster. And again, a lot of it has to do with the CloudSigma infrastructure that underlies it. And I cannot name their customers. I'm not allowed to, but they actually have customers in the Fortune 25 in the U.S. So they are not a small company at all. So again, they took a little bit different approach, and this is open to, I won't say anyone, but if you have an interesting software product or want to do a custom integration with CloudSigma, that is possible, and those are discussions we can have. So that was it about the partner case studies, and I also wanted to put it out there to reach out to us. We have different case studies in healthcare, financial, public utilities, oil refineries. I mean, you name it, we have different case studies. And if you're interested in learning more for any specific customers, please feel free to ask us, and we can provide specific case studies. We wanted to highlight security because, from a personal standpoint, the whole first 2 months of the year have been our company's been busy with incident responses. So meaning we've been helping people that have been hacked, not just in Hawaii, but in the United States. So we've been very busy doing that. So again, we wanted to showcase security because it's a very unique place, and Amazon, Microsoft, again, don't have the availability to deliver the platforms that CloudSigma can when it comes to securing. So I just wanted to put that out there. I'll turn it back over to Vanya.
Thanks, Chuck. I think we are actually almost done. with our part. So now we open the floor to you. If you have any questions to us, please feel free to share this. You can use the chat function, which is here below. I'm going to use this. Okay, we have one question coming up. I'm going to use this silent break just to say that this session is being recorded, and you're going to get a link again and together with our contact details. So if you have any questions later on, of course, you can reach out to us and we can take the discussion further. Okay, I see different people typing. Yes, so we have a very good question. In your channel program, would it fit for a reseller model, meaning the partner pays the bills and manages the servers for many customers? Yes. Actually, this is what this guy here is doing. Wait.
Well, okay, there's multiple ways you can do it. Sorry about that. So in the CloudSigma infrastructure, you can do it a couple of different ways. So you could pay all the bills for your customers, and you can either put them in one big account. So you could have everything on one account and do multiple VLANs and manage everything through like a central firewall. And we can go like do a screen share to show you how to do that. It's very, very fast. Or what you can do is use the platform and set up multiple accounts so your customers can be segmented. So that would be the logical way to do it. And then Bonnie can talk about some other ways that other partners have done it. But that's how we've done it in the U.S. With our partners. But there's actually a couple of different ways you can do it. But that's the two main ones that we've seen.
Yeah, that's right. Thanks for that, Chuck. So those are the two main ways to achieve this. You can then also put on top any other margins you want, actually. Does that answer your question, David?
There's also the access control list, which is actually a very unique feature as well. So what that does is your customer have an account, and if you need to have them access just one server, let's say, so you have your 50 servers in your account and you need your customer to have access to just one, you actually set them up in a separate account and just give them access to that one server without having access to everything else. It's a very unique feature. It's very, very cool.
David, does that answer your question? Do you have any more questions? Okay, no worries. Okay, great. Okay, if there are no further questions, I suggest we just end this webinar. And yeah, as I said, you can reach out anytime afterwards, and we can exchange further information. We have a lot of different materials that we can provide to the reseller partners. We can do events together with them. We can also announce certain types of partnerships on our website if this is required and wanted from both sides. So there are different ways we take it further with the partners, the way we've done it with Chuck, for example. Yeah, so for example, with the case of this guy Wolfsek, we are actually now going to publish his services on our website and email all of our customers about that, because he's going to be a preferred channel partner for Switzerland. So there are different options. We can expand the standard of the basic partnership as a reseller as of today. Okay, thanks again everyone for attending our webinar. It's been a pleasure, and you'll hear back from us soon. I wish you a pleasant day.
Thank you. Aloha.
Bye.